Hey, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another segment of On The Clock. I'm here by myself, and as you can see, today we're going to do Week 10 Power Rankings. Today is Friday. The Thursday Night Football game did happen yesterday. That doesn't affect the Power Rankings simply because we put that for Week 11. So this is going to be based on the Week 9 results. They're kind of the same, though, to be honest with you. But, yeah, so let's kick it off. Okay, so at 32, I have the Colts. The Colts season is over. That season is over. Jeff Saturday as the coach, we don't know how it's gonna go, but I don't really agree with it. I don't think it's gonna go well. The fact that they don't have an experienced play caller. I think if you were gonna fire Frank Reich, you could have had somebody experienced do the thing. Like Reggie Wayne, for example, who's on the staff, has experience play calling and team with the team. But I guess you can argue Jeff Saturday has the same qualifications. But that being said, I think that season's over. The offensive line's played atrocious. The defense has played atrocious. Sam Ehlinger needs an offensive line and a simpler playbook, and they don't even know what the hell they're doing. That season's over. 31, I got the Carolina Panthers. They did get molly-whopped by the Bengals, which I thought they were going to win because, they have more of a zone defense, but they were able to figure it out. The pass rush was a non-factor. Joe Mixon just bodied them. So that they have to fix that run defense. 30, I got the Steelers. The Steelers, their season's over also. They need to realize that they're in a rebuild stage and they need to focus on the rebuild. Get Kenny Pickett his reps and help him out, basically kind of progress him throughout the year. He is a first-round pick. You would expect him to do good, but that's not the case here because that team sucks. And they did just trade one of the receiver weapons. Najee Harris has been disappointing, and so is the defense. 29, we got the Lions. Oh my God, they beat the Packers, but the defense the defense looked really good there. Kirby Joseph looked really good there. I still think that the offense considering the fact that they were Week 1 to Week 3, one in the league in yards and scores and stuff. This whole time they've regressed, and they've been worse. And the defense has also been bad. The offense did not do any better against the Packers, but the defense did a lot better. And that being said, that's just not enough for me to put them out of this bottom 5 tier. And then at 28, I have the Houston Texans. The Texans defense has been very disappointing. Again, the only highlight of that team is Dameon Pierce, who could possibly win Offensive Rookie of the Year now that Breece Hall is sadly injured and out for the season with a torn ACL. I think that award goes between Kenneth Walker and Dameon Pierce. I think Dameon Pierce gets it because he is the only highlight of that team. The rest of that team sucks. And Brandon Cook should have been traded, but they don't know what they're doing. 27, I have the Raiders. The Raiders suck, man. The Raiders just suck. They have Devontae Adams and supposedly, alleged MVP candidate Derek Carr, and they have not been able to do squat with it. That being said, that's just super disappointing. I think Josh McDaniels' job is, gone. I think he's out of there at the end of this week. At the end of this year. I think he's out of there. He should be if the Raiders knew anything about their franchise. But then again, they've been terrible management since the dawn of time. So, yeah, the Raiders season's over. There's no chance they would make that division. No chance. And they did just lose to the team on top of the Jaguars. Jacksonville Jaguars. Week 1, they did surprise all of us. They got me thinking that they would be good, and I thought they would go 12-5, and then they just ended up sucking. That defense has been good. It has. The offense has been good, except Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence has been showing flashes, very little flashes, but he's been showing flashes. I think he's having a sophomore slump. Then again, you can argue that for a lot of other players. However, we'll just have to see. 25, I got the Cardinals. The Cardinals suck, man. They suck. Cliff Kingsbury, I think if they have 2 divisional games come the Rams and the Niners, if they lose those 2 games, I think Cliff Kingsbury is out the window or out the door. Kyler Murray was not worth that $240 million. You could see that. DeAndre Hopkins, they needed him the whole time. I feel like they would have won more games with him. They played a little bit better with him. Doesn't mean squad. The defense is mediocre. The whole team's been mediocre. They're just stuck in mid, and they can't win games with it. So they're just stuck in the losing mid. 24, we got the Broncos. The Broncos did just have their bye week, so I didn't move them from last week's. I just left them there because none of these teams are any better. So yeah, I think Nathaniel Hackett's out the window also come the offseason. But if they don't win any more games, like if they come out the season with a losing record, but we'll just have to see. 23, I got the Commanders. Would put them higher, but they did lose to the Vikings. However, they kept it close. Taylor Heineke, in my opinion, is the answer. I think he should have started. I think he should have started this year. They shouldn't have gone Carson Wentz. I think he can be the starting quarterback for at least next year. A bridge. See if he does any better. The defense is about to get Chase Young back. It's about to get a lot more nasty. And yeah, we just have to see where it goes from there. But I think they have a high upside. 22, I have the Packers. Jesus, I would have put the Commanders on top, but you know, you gotta hold that hope. And the Packers were a lot higher; they dropped a lot more. So, the Green Bay Packers, their season's over if they don't get OBJ. They've lost 6 in a row. Their next 4 games, they could possibly lose all of them. They got the Titans next week. This week they have, the Cowboys. Oh my God, abysmal. Yeah, we might be losing 8 in a row, like 9 in a row. Ridiculous. This might be. I think the season's over. Honestly, I think they just go down from here, unless they get OBJ. That's highly impossible though, because OBJ might be ring chasing even though he already has a ring. But we don't know. There's rumors: Chiefs, Rams, Giants, Packers, Cowboys, Ravens, everywhere. In 21, I have the New Orleans Saints. I think if they don't start James Winston, they go down from there. The defense has been pretty good, but the offense has not been able to carry the load. And even then, the defense is having injuries in the cornerback room, just like the wide receiver room. The same teams having injury problems. 20, I have the Rams. The Rams season is also over, in my opinion. They just can't seem to buy a damn win. Matthew Stafford has been garbage. The defense has been disappointing outside of Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. That offense, they can't run the ball. They can't pass the ball. What can they do? 19, I got the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns are the Cleveland. The Browns are going to brown, man. Jacoby Brissett's not the guy. They do need Deshaun Watson back. I think they win a lot more games with Deshaun Watson, those 7 games that he comes back for. The defense has been a lot better. Has been progressing. They've been playing a lot better. Myles Garrett's been playing better too. Been getting more pressures, more sacks. But that offense, man. Nick Chubb, they run away from the run game. They need to run the ball. Nick Chubb is the second best running back in the league. They need to run the ball. Kareem Hunt, that duo is the number 1 in the league. They need to run the ball, but they don't. Amari Cooper's been really good, but that's because that's the only person Jacoby Brissett knows how to throw to. Anybody else is an interception and incompletion or whatever the case may be. It's just Jacoby Brissett's not the guy. Number 18, I have Atlanta. Marcus Mariota starting to regress. I think it's time for Desmond Ridder. Maybe you can give him another game. I mean, they're trying to win the division. Their best chance is Marcus Mariota. But if Mariota continues to regress and you want to win that division, you're going to have to switch sooner rather than later. I think, they did just lose to the Panthers 25-15. So I think if not this week, if not the next game, week 11, they make the switch. But I think Ridder plays this year. 17, I have the Bears, and it's only up from there. Justin Fields, I was right about that pick. Wow, it was amazing. Justin Fields, I didn't even add him on my fantasy team. It's crazy. Justin Fields has been amazing. As soon as the Eberflus got the mix, got the gist of it, and started giving him, started playing him the way he's supposed to be played, it got so much better. Eberflus is just a monster. Justin Fields is just a monster. Eberflus is also a monster because he's made that defense a top 10 defense, even without Roquan and without Robert Quinn. He's made that defense amazing because he is a defensive-minded coach and a really good one. And yeah, the Bears are just going up from here. The 16, I have the Buccaneers. If it wasn't for that defense, coming up with that clutch stop, the clutch plays to win the game, they would have been the Bears would have been higher. They would have been lower. The whole deal. They're a mediocre team. I think Tom Brady's showing regression. We'll have to see. The division is now competitive somehow. But we'll have to see. I think they progress. I think they end up coming out winning the division with a winning record, but not that not like a 10-5. Maybe like a 9-8, maybe. Who knows? They're mediocre. The defense is getting old and regressing. Offense is getting old and regressing. Mike Evans is dropping a bunch of passes. It's ridiculous. 15, I have the Chargers. The Chargers they beat the Falcons. that team is mediocre. That's literally mid right there. Wow. They are mediocre. The defense has been disappointing. They haven't had Joey Bosa since week 2, I think. Khalil Mack is playing his ass off. The offense, Justin Herbert needs receivers. Without his receivers, he can't throw the ball anywhere. Austin Eckler's been a monster. That's about it. That's all you can highlight about the team, really. New England Patriots at 14. The Patriots are the worst team in that division, but they're not the worst team in the league. They're a really good team. They're starting to pick it up again, but I don't think they come out of that division. I think they do get the 3rd seed. I do think the Jets go back to 4, or at least it's really close. That division is going to be really close, but at the end of the day, it's going to be Bills, Dolphins, Jets, Patriots, in my opinion. I mean, Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets. But we'll have to see. The Bengals at 13. The Bengals, they just whooped the Panthers, but I'm not going to forget that the Browns whooped them the week before. The defense has been good. The offensive line has been playing better throughout the weeks, except when Myles Garrett just torched them completely. But the offense has been doing a lot better. Joe Mixon really put them there. If it wasn't for Joe Mixon, I think that they would have lost that team, that game. And then again, they do need some help there. They do need to improve a little bit. I think they make it to the playoffs, but I don't think they make the Super Bowl or the Cinderella run again. At number 12, I have the New York Giants. The New York Giants, they're impressive. They've been really impressive. They were on a bye week. That's why I left them there. But they've been really impressive. Daniel Jones might be. They might think he's the Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's not the Super Bowl winning quarterback. He's a playoff getting to quarterback, like a bridge QB. But yeah, I think that the defense has been really good. I think Brian Daboll and Wink Martindale have been a great coaching combo. If they just add pieces, better players, if they're not afraid to get better, if that new staff isn't afraid to get better, they can be, they can be competing with the Cowboys next year. 11, I have the Seahawks. The Seahawks have been amazing, absolutely amazing. The Seahawks really, wow, they're 6-3. The only team in that division with a winning record. It's crazy. And they play the Buccaneers in Munich this week. I think if they win, I have the Bucs winning that game. But if they win that game, we're talking about, they're running away with the division. We're talking Geno Smith is definitely starting quarterback next year with that defense. How that's been going. The coaching, Pete Carroll should be coach of the year if we're talking about it that way. I don't care if the Eagles are 8-0. I don't care if the Eagles finish 17-0. Then I'll give it to Sirianni. But if not, we should be talking about Pete Carroll in the coach of the year conversation. We should be talking about the Seattle Seahawks winning a playoff game conversation. We'll see. We'll see, because right now they're looking like the third best team in the NFC besides the Cowboys, the fourth best team in the NFC, which is crazy to think of. It's crazy. If the Packers beat the Cowboys, they're the third best team in the NFC. If the Vikings lose, if the Vikings lose to the Bills, they're the second best team in the NFC if they beat the Buccaneers. It's a crazy good team. I think Geno starts next year. Tennessee Titans at 10. Tannehill, no. The offense, the receivers, no. Treylon Burks has been injured. Even then, Treylon Burks was not the replacement. Not yet, at least. I think they need to get another receiver this year in the draft or in free agency. Robert Woods is not the guy. But Derrick Henry and that defense. They lost Harold Landry in the beginning of the year to a injuries, a season injury. And Derrick Henry has been bad the first 2 weeks and then just popped off. Now he's leading the league in scrimmage yards. He's leading the league he has the most scrimmage yards amongst running backs. He's leading the league in rushing yards. He's got 1,000 already. Ridiculous. So freaking awesome. If it wasn't because Tyreek Hill is going off too, he would be Offensive Player of the Year. And he just beat out Nick Chubb because Kevin Stefanski doesn't want to run the ball. New York Jets at 9. The New York Jets are a surprise. Sauce Gardner is a surprise. I honestly thought Sauce Gardner was going to struggle, but here he is, proving me wrong. And I can't be happier. I wouldn't be happier. I mean, I didn't think he was a great cornerback coming out of Cincinnati in college last year. He did lock up everybody, didn't allow a single touchdown. Still hasn't allowed a touchdown. And the way that you see is like when he guarded Gabriel Davis on that last play in the Buffalo Bills game when they beat the Bills. No pass interference, doesn't even need to track the ball. He doesn't care about the interception. He cares about not giving you the reception. He just runs with him, toe for toe, step for step, and just puts his hands out there and just plays the receiver. That's something that quarterbacks nowadays don't do. They just play for the ball. And he's playing it old school, and he's playing it really well. And that's what's making him defensive rookie of the year. Arguably defensive player of the year, because outside of Micah Parsons, and he has been on bye week, who else has been in contention for that? I think you should argue, Sauce Gardner could be defensive player of the year come, continuous performances like this. That's a pretty hot take, I understand that, but, you got to be honest. The way that he plays the cornerback position is like of old. It's not traditional. It's traditional. It's not how it is now. It's traditional. That being said, that's freaking crazy. I think that he just carries on that performance from there, and it just gets a whole lot better. That's just me, though. At 8, I have the Dolphins. Dolphins are going up from here, to be honest with you. They play the Browns. They got an easy schedule coming up. It's going to be crazy. The Dolphins are doing so. At least one of my teams is doing good, bro, because the Packers have been shit. Fins up all the way. That defense has been abysmal. They suck. They weren't as good as they were last year. Every team's picked up on Josh Boyer's cover zero blitz defense. Everybody's picked up on that. Notice how Javon Holland was getting the sacks last year. Now it's Brandon Jones, and Brandon Jones is gone. Now we have a bunch of injuries in the secondary. Byron Jones, we don't know if he's going to come back for the year, which we need badly. Because with Nick Needham, maybe we could be like, all right, maybe he can miss the year, we'll be fine. But now that Nick Needham's gone, it's Xavier Howard, who's been underwhelming, low-key, and Kader Kohu, and Justin Bethel, and Javon Holland, and Eric Rowe. And yeah, like, the linebackers have been good. We got Bradley Chubb, but he didn't do much against the Bears. It's kind of disappointing in my opinion. He's probably not going to do much against the Browns. We'll see. I did say that if Bradley Chubb doesn't improve the Miami Dolphins defensive line numbers, like the pressures and the sacks and all that stuff, it's an L trade. But then again, we'll have to see. I'm not going to base it off of one game. We have to base it off of the season and then next year. But we'll see about that. Other than that, the defense, when they need to, they get the stops. We saw it the week before. We saw it last week. All the above. When they need to get the stops, they get the stops. Against the Vikings, for example. The offense just couldn't do anything about it because they didn't have Tua. Tua has been a monster. Tua is the future franchise quarterback. Tua has Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill for those next 5 years. So Tua and Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and that offense are going to get so much better. And if they bolster the offensive line, Papo, I got news for you. Super Bowl contention. If Josh Allen remains out, because the reports say that he's day-to-day. If that's a lie, because sometimes they do smoke screens. Smoke screens, in case you don't know what a smoke screen is. Dolphins did it for Tua when they drafted him 3 years ago. They were talking the whole year and the year before. Tank for Tua, tank for Tua, tank for Tua, tank for Tua, tank for Tua. Then come close to the draft, everybody's like, all right, Justin Herbert. We've been hearing rumors about Justin Herbert, Mel Kiper's, Todd McShay, all those mock drafts. We've been hearing Dolphins looking more to Justin Herbert. They don't like Tua anymore because that injury is scary. Justin Herbert. Everybody wants Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert was a developmental project. Nobody knew he was going to pop off. He's a developmental project. And he did start off ripped because the staff, the punctured lung from that dumbass staff person that did that shit to Tyrod Taylor, pobrecito. But come to think of it, Tua didn't have the weapons, Justin Herbert did. Tua didn't have the offensive line, Justin Herbert did. Tua didn't have the defense, Justin Herbert did. The situation is different, but then again, everybody was thinking Dolphins are going Justin Herbert. They're going Justin Herbert. They went Tua. Smokescreen is what this is. So if Josh Allen is out for more than 3 weeks, Dolphins take the division lead and run away with it. They do play the Bills one more time, but that's why I say they run away with it, because even if they lose, they just win every single game. If they win every other game outside of the Bills game, and the Bills lose Josh Allen for 3 weeks, or they lose to the Vikings this week, if they lose Josh Allen for 3 weeks, they lost those 3 games, in my opinion. That being said, the Dolphins take the division. That's just me. Hot take. 7, I got the 49ers. Defense, top 10. Offense, top 10. Just need to put it together. We'll see how they do. They were on bye, so we'll see how they do. I think they do win. They have the Chargers. I think they beat them. I think they show why they're so damn good. But with Jason Verrett tears his Achilles again. I honestly don't know why he didn't retire the second time that happened. But, you know, it sucks when you need that piece, especially when he's a really good player on the field. But it is what it is, you know, unfortunate. At number 6, I have the Cowboys. Cowboys are the third best team in the NFC. I do have the Packers beating them because there's no way in hell they lose 6 games in a row. And like Santi said in the episode, in the predictions video, I didn't say that about 5, I said that about 4, la 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 la. But I still think that they win. I still think that the Cowboys come off the bye week lackluster, you know, think it's easy and get run over. That's just me. At number 5, I have the Ravens. The Ravens did pick it up. They beat the Buccaneers. They did pick it up. You know, 5 games in a row. They're 5-3 now. They're winning the division. Nobody else is close except the Bengals, but the Bengals have been mediocre at best. I think they might run away with the division, to be honest with you. They do struggle. The offense, they kind of struggle low-key, but they did beat the Saints last week too, and they beat the Bengals and all that stuff. The Kansas City Chiefs at number 4. The only reason why I put them at number 4 is because Buffalo beat them. If Buffalo didn't beat them, they would be switched. That's really how it is. You could argue the two. Buffalo might go down depending on Josh Allen's injury status. The Chiefs did almost lose to the Titans, to Malik Willis, to Derrick Henry. Top 10 defense still. Top 5 offense. It's a good team. Again, the only reason why I put them up there, you can argue they're both the same caliber team, but the Bills did beat them 24-20. And Josh Allen's been MVP caliber, even though he has struggled against the Jets and he did struggle against the Dolphins. No, he didn't struggle against the Dolphins. It was just the timing. He did struggle against the Jets. He does have some kind of crazy throws. His interceptions are wild, but the defense has been amazing too. Stephon Diggs, amazing. That's just really how it be. It's a really tough one to rank the two. Number 2, I got the Minnesota Vikings. Who God knows would have thought? Oh God, that the Vikings were this good. Who would have thought that Zadarius Smith over there on this side? Oh, good Lord. Who would have thought that Zadarius Smith would be so damn good? Why did the Packers get rid of him? I have no fucking clue. That GM has been terrible for years. I've been saying it, but they don't want to get rid of him. That's fine. Just keep breaking my heart. The offense has been amazing. The defense has been better than advertised. However, their secondary is still questionable, but they're 7-1. And they win close games, so that's what matters. Can't really argue that. They're just the second best team in the league. And then now for number 1, should be a damn surprise, the Philadelphia Eagles. A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts, arguably an amazing duo. They just overshadowed Devontae Smith. That defensive backfield, amazing. Defensive line, amazing. The whole team just structured around awesomeness. It's just a really good team all around. Could they go 17-0? Probably not. They probably go 15-2 in my opinion at this rate. Or, come the bye week, they could lose more games. The bye week is always the killer. We'll have to see how they do though. And yeah, that's going to be it for us. Go ahead and like and subscribe down below for more content. Turn on post notifications. We got more videos coming, power rankings, debates, tier lists, NBA, NFL. And we also got FIFA World Cup coming out. Episode's supposed to drop, if not today, on Friday. It drops on Saturday or Sunday because there's a lot going on there. Probably our best video yet. Can't wait for you guys to see it. Can't wait to post it. Go ahead and follow our socials. We got the Twitter, the Instagram for news and updates on a daily basis. The Twitter is the one that's most active, so go hit up the Twitter. And yeah, my other channels there too, Fructose Father Prime. It is the Twitch and the YouTube channel. Gaming in real life streams. All kinds of stuff coming up. Try not to laugh, reacts. We'll see what we can come up with, video ideas. If you guys have any ideas for videos or anything of those sorts, comments or concerns, let us know in the comments below. And yeah, that's going to do it for me. Deuces.